Dear friends, welcome to his American English. Take your accent training book number 2. The video number is 104. What combinations with pronouns? What combinations with pronoun? What are the pronouns, sir? Could you tell me? I, we, you, he, she, it, they, my, our, your. These are called pronouns. Stands for some other noun. So when what joins with pronouns and what joins with also you can say auxiliary verbs. What are auxiliary verbs? What do you mean by auxiliary verbs, sir? Auxiliary verbs are am, is, are, was, were, will be, shall be. This is called auxiliary verbs, right? So what plus are, what do you say? How do you say? Vada, 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 vada. See the pronunciation, vada. What are you speaking? How do you say? What are you speaking? Vada. What are you speaking? Right? What plus are you pronounce as vada. So these auxiliary verbs you should not stress. What are you speaking? No. Auxiliary verbs all compress. You should compress auxiliary verbs. Only the verbs and nouns separate identification, right? Auxiliary verbs and pronouns you have to crush and mold and give it a one sound. Verbs, identification, they need separate identification. Nouns, they need a separate identification. So what plus are, how do you say? Vada. What are you speaking? What are you speaking? What plus I plus am. Am is auxiliary verb, I is pronoun. What is the question word? So what plus I plus am, how do you say? What I am. What I am. What I am, right? You don't say what I am. No, what I am. So I don't know what I am going to do. I don't know. You don't say don't know, do not know. You say don't know. I don't know what I am going to do. What I am going to do. I don't know what I am going to do. What plus it plus is. What is. From after I, you see T is there. In front of T and after T, what do you see? Vowels are there. So T changes into D. After I, S is there. So I, S is changes into Z. So what is? This food is tasty. This food is tasty. This food is tasty. What's it made of? What it's made of. This food is tasty. What it's made of. Next, what plus are plus not. 3 words joining together to give a sound. What are in, right? What are in. I will not purchase cell phones. What are in made in India? What are in made in India? I will not purchase. I won't. Will not, you are pronouncing it as won't. I won't purchase cell phones. What are in made in India? What are in made in India? See, will not changes into won't. Purchase, separate identification. Cell phone, separate identification. What are not, these are lesser stressed words. So you have to mix it and say what are in. So what plus are, what are, tell me, what are? What are you speaking? What plus I am, what I am? I don't know what I am going to do. What plus it plus is, what is? This food item is tasty, what's it made of? What plus are plus not, what are in? I will not purchase cell phones. What are in made in India? What are in made in India? Very good. Auxiliary verbs. Now first auxiliary verbs comes. Plus pronoun combination. First auxiliary verb comes, next pronoun comes. Pronoun means what? I, we, you, he, she, it, they. Will not you changes into won't. Will not you, how do you pronounce? Won't. That's all, won't. If I invite you, won't you come for my marriage? If I invite you, won't you come for my marriage? Won't you? Will not you changes into won't you, right? Won't you come for my marriage? Next coming here, auxiliary verbs plus pronoun. Would not plus he, wouldn't he? Would not plus he changes into wouldn't he? He is a good speaker. Wouldn't he be the Prime Minister? He is a good speaker. Wouldn't he be the Prime Minister? Wouldn't he? right? Wouldn't he be the Prime Minister? So would plus not plus E, you are pronouncing it as wouldn't he. Would plus E, would he. My friend is rich. Would he help me? My friend is rich. Would he help me? Would he help me? So would plus E, would he. Now does plus E, does he. After A, E, I, O, U, S come, S is changed into does. Yes, is. Does he? Does he speak good English? Does he speak good English? Was plus E, was he. Was he. Was plus E, was he. Manmohan Singh, was he the governor of Reserve Bank of India? Manmohan Singh, was he the governor of Reserve Bank of India? Is plus E, is he. Is he a collector? Is plus E, is he. Is he a collector? Seventh one, would plus you, would you. Would you give me some money? Would plus you, would you. Would you give me some money? Would not plus you, wouldn't you. Would not plus you, wouldn't you. Wouldn't you help me? Wouldn't you help me? Next. Should plus not plus I, shouldn't I. Should plus not plus I, shouldn't I. Shouldn't I pay the taxes? Shouldn't I pay the taxes? No, my dear friends, everybody together. Would not plus he, wouldn't he? He is a good speaker. Wouldn't he be the Prime Minister? Would plus he, would he? My friend is rich. Would he help me? Does plus he, does he? Does he speak good English? Was plus he, was he? Manmohan Singh, was he the governor of Reserve Bank of India? Is plus he, is he? Is he a collector? Would plus you, would you? Would you give me some money? Would plus not plus you, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you help me? Should plus not plus I, shouldn't I? Shouldn't I pay the taxes? Now coming here. Could plus you. How do you say? Pronounce could plus you. Could you? Could you? Could you see the elephants? Could you see the elephants? Does plus not plus is three words joining together. Doesn't it? That bike, doesn't it give good mileage? That bike, doesn't it give good mileage? Am not plus I, am I speaking Hindi fluently? Am plus not plus I, you are pronouncing it as am I speaking Hindi fluently? Do not plus you, don't you. T plus Y, chew, don't you. Don't you have some common sense? Don't you have some common sense? Cannot plus you, can't you. Can't you save money to buy an house? Can't you save money to buy an house? Won't, next, will not plus E, won't he, will not plus E, won't he. Won't he act in the movies? Won't he act in the movies? Did not plus E, didn't he? Didn't he drive the car? Didn't he drive the car? So everybody to say together, could plus you, could you? Could you see the elephants? Doesn't plus it, doesn't it? That bike, doesn't it give good mileage? Am not plus I. Am I speaking Hindi fluently? Do not plus you, don't you? Don't you have some common sense? Cannot plus you, can't you? Can't you save money to buy an house? Won't, will not plus E. Won't he? Won't he act in the movies? Did not plus E. Didn't he? Didn't he drive the car? So once again, what plus are? What plus I am? What I am? What plus it is? What is? What plus are not? What are in? Will not plus you, won't. What plus not plus he, won't he. Would plus he, would he. Does plus he, does he. Was plus he, was he. Is plus he, is he. Would plus you, would you. Would plus not plus you, wouldn't you. Should plus not plus I, shouldn't I. Could plus you, could you. Doesn't plus it, doesn't it. Am not plus I, am I. Do not plus you, don't you. Cannot plus you, can't you. Will not plus he, won't he. Did not plus he, didn't he. Hope you are able to understand. So nouns and verbs and adjectives and adverbs, you have to stress. The sound should be identified. But auxiliary verbs, pronouns, prepositions, you have to mix it and unstress it and speak. That's the most important in your communication skills. Of course, without auxiliary verbs, without helping verbs, it's impossible to speak, right? So நண்பர்களே, உங்களுடைய அமெரிக்கன் ஆக்சென்ட் ட்ரைனிங் புக் நம்பர் 2 எடுத்துக்கொள்ளுங்கள், வீடியோ நம்பர் 104 எடுத்துக்கொள்ளுங்கள். காம்பினேஷன் கலவைகள் பட் கூட, that கூட, what கூட with pronouns பிரதிபெயர் சொற்கள் I, we, you, he, she கூட மிக்ஸ் பண்றீங்க. with auxiliary verbs am, is, are, was, were, will be, shall be, இதை கலக்கும் பொழுது நீங்கள் என்ன செய்ய வேண்டும்? பெயர்ச்சொல், வினைச்சொல், பெயருரிச்சொல், வினையுரிச்சொல். பெயர்ச்சொல் noun, வினைச்சொல் verb, adjective பெயருரிச்சொல், வினையுரிச்சொல் adverb, இவர்களுக்குத்தான் தனியாக சத்தத்தை எழுப்புகிறீர்கள். ஆனால் துணை வினைச்சொற்களான am, is, are, was, were, will be, shall be அதெல்லாம் மிக்ஸ் பண்ணி சொல்றீங்க. do, does, did, has, have, had மிக்ஸ் பண்ணி சொல்றீங்க. அப்புறம் என்ன சொல்றீங்க? what, he, she, it, they எல்லாம் மிக்ஸ் பண்ணி ஒரு கலவையாக ஒரு சவுண்டாக சொல்லுகிறீங்க. உதாரணத்துக்கு what plus are, what are. what plus are auxiliary verb, what கூட pronouns and auxiliary verbs. what are you speaking? என்ன நீ பேசிக்கொண்டிருக்கிறாய்? what are, ஆருக்கு தனியா கொடுக்காதீங்க. you, what are you speaking? வாட்டுக்கு ஆருக்கு யூ தனி ஐடென்டிஃபிகேஷன் கொடுக்கக்கூடாது. you mix it and say what are you speaking? what are you? what I am, மூணு இருக்கிறது, what இருக்கிறது, I இருக்கிற பிரதிபெயர் சொற்கள், am இருக்கிறது. what I'm I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do. what I'm so what I'm என்று வருகிறது. I do not knowங்கிறது don't know என்று சொல்கிறோம். what plus it plus is what it's. இப்போ டி டியாக மாறியது. ஏன்னா டீக்கு முன்னாடியும் பின்னாடியும் உயிரெழுத்துக்கள் இருக்கிறது. டி டியாக மாறுகிறது. ஐக்கு அப்புறம் எஸ் வந்து விட்டால் எஸ் ஜெட்டாக மாறி விடுகிறது. வாட் இட்ஸ். திஸ் ஃபுட் ஐட்டம் இஸ் டேஸ்டி. வாட்ஸ் இட் மேட் ஆஃப். இந்த உணவு பதார்த்தம் நன்றாக இருக்கிறது. இது எதனால் செய்யப்பட்டது? வாட் இட்ஸ். வாட் பிளஸ் ஆர் நாட், இது வாட் ஆர் இன் என்று வர வேண்டும். வாட் ஆர் இன், சுருக்கமாக வாட் ஆர் இன். ஐ வில் நாட் பர்ச்சேஸ் செல்போன்ஸ் வாட் ஆர் இன் மேட் இன் இந்தியா. நான் இந்தியாவில் தயாரிக்கப்படாத செல்போன்ஸை நான் வாங்க மாட்டேன். வாட் ஆர் இன் என்று சொல்ல வேண்டும். அடுத்தது ஆக்சிலரி வேர்ப்ஸ் கூட ப்ரொனவுன் காம்பினேஷன். ஆக்சிலரி வேர்ப்ஸ் கூட ப்ரொனவுன் will not plus you own என்று சொல்ல வேண்டும். if I invite you won't you come for my marriage. own you, will not plus you own என்று வருகிறது. own you. அடுத்தது ஆக்சிலரி வேர்ப் would not plus he, wouldn't he என்று வருகிறது. would not plus he, wouldn't he. he is a good speaker, அவர் ஒரு நல்ல பேச்சாளன். wouldn't he be the prime minister, அவர் பிரதம மந்திரியாக ஆக மாட்டாரா. wouldn't he, would plus not plus he, wouldn't he என்று சொல்ல வேண்டும். would plus he, would he. my friend is rich, would he help me. would he help me. என் நண்பன் நன்ற பணக்காரனாக இருக்கிறான், அவன் எனக்கு உதவ மாட்டானா. does plus he, does he speak good English, அவன் நன்றாக ஆங்கிலம் பேசுகிறானா. was plus he, was he. மன்மோகன் சிங், was he the governor of Reserve Bank of India. மன்மோகன் சிங் அவர் கவர்னர் ஆஃப் ரிசர்வ் பேங்க் ஆஃப் இந்தியாவுடைய கவர்னராக இருந்தாரா. is plus he, is he a collector, அவர் ஒரு கலெக்டராக இருக்கிறாரா. would plus you, would you என்று உச்சரிக்க வேண்டும். would you give me some money, would you give me some money, எனக்கு கொஞ்சம் பணம் கொடுக்க முடியுமா. would not plus you, wouldn't you help me, நீ எனக்கு உதவி செய்ய மாட்டாயா. wouldn't you. t plus y, chew. should plus not plus I, shouldn't I pay the taxes, நான் வரி கட்டக்கூடாதா. shouldn't I pay the taxes. ஸோ அடுத்ததாக பார்க்கும் பொழுது could plus you, could you see the elephants, உன்னால யானைகளை பார்க்க முடிகிறதா. does plus not plus it, doesn't it. that bike, doesn't it give good mileage, அந்த பைக் நல்ல ஒரு எரிசக்தி மிச்சப்படுத்தக்கூடிய அந்த சக்தியை கொடுப்பதில்லையா. am not plus I, am I speaking Hindi fluently, நான் ஹிந்தி சரளமாக பேசுவதில்லையா. am I. do not plus you, don't you have some common sense, உனக்கு பொது அறிவு இல்லையா. cannot plus you, can't you save money to buy a house, ஒரு வீடு வாங்குவதற்கு உன்னால் பணத்தை மிச்சப்படுத்த முடியாதா? will not plus he, only act in the movies, அவன் படங்களிலே நடிக்க மாட்டானா? did not plus he, didn't he drive the car, அவன் காரை ஓட்டவில்லையா? so what plus are, what plus I am, what I am, what plus it plus is what it is, what plus are not, what are in, will not plus you, won't, would not plus he, wouldn't he, would plus he, would he, does plus he, does he, was plus he, was he, is plus he, is he, would plus you, would you, would plus not plus you, wouldn't you, should plus not plus I, shouldn't I, could plus you, could you, does not plus it, doesn't it, am not I plus I, am in I, do not plus you, don't you, cannot plus you, can't you, will not plus he, won't he, did not plus he, didn't he. ஸோ நண்பர்களே, இந்த உச்சரிப்புகளை நன்கு அறிந்து தெரிந்து உங்களுடைய பேச்சாங்கிலத்தை வளப்படுத்திக் கொள்ளுங்கள். தேங்க்யூ வெரி மச்.